to Gurukul Lectures in the ongoing series of Leadership and Team Development. Today is the last lecture in series. Here we are talking about some successful women entrepreneurs case studies. In the first part of my lecture, I talked about how the women they achieve the position and how they achieve the success, and their success stories are sky high. Most of the women are born with the entrepreneurial skill and are known for it. So women are embedded with patience, perseverance, risk-taking attitude, hard work, and these are the qualities of an entrepreneur. So we talked about Jasubain Pizza, which started, taking the story upward, and around them, she started making the pizzas at home, and her appreciation took her to the top. So, she can give a big fight and a big rival for Domino's and the Pizza Hut, a very, very tough fight. So, because of the Gujarati taste. Then we talked about the Lijjat Papad, which is a creation of a group of uneducated women. The story leads us that how these rural women, uneducated women, 7 sisters of the village with just rupees 80, they reached up to 3.1 billion annual sales. So, all these are so motivating. Then we talked about the Amul Dairy Development Model, which is a great example of a ground level work that the women do to make it a success. And after this, we talked about the Padma Shri awardee Kalpana Saroj. When she was born as a Dalit woman, she was married at the age of 12, and how the atrocities happened as a result of the physical abuse, and eventually she left her family and started living in Mumbai with her uncle, started with her own successful tailoring business and a furniture shop. So her entrepreneurial ventures are praiseworthy, and she reached up to, as per her own statement, worth $112 million. So awards and the recognitions of Kalpana Saroj are actually appreciated. She was appointed on the boards of Bharatiya Mahila Bank, a bank primarily for women by the Government of India. Then we talked about in detail about a success stories of Shehnaz Hussain, that how she took the first mover advantage, how her progressive outlook, a global outlook, gave her the mileage and reputation as far as the division of the cosmetics and chemical and the natural products are concerned, and she took the advantage and moving on to the products of Ayurveda, how she was successful across the globe with about just an initial investment of 35,000, and now she has attained a substantial level in pan India also and in across countries globe also. So she's a president of some big beauty contest and the big beauty parlors and the galleries and the consignments. She is offered a permanent counter in the Paris, in London, in other big countries like Middle East, etc. So Shehnaz Hussain products were carried by many prestigious stores across the globe like Harrods and Selfridges and galleries in Paris and in Japan, in Middle East, in other countries like East Asia and Africa. Then we talked about Rupa Rani, a success story that fueled the dreams of many world. So this Confederation of Women Entrepreneurs, as the name suggests, is an NGO where the social organization engaged in a social and economic upliftment of the women through entrepreneurship. So, the COW and the other organizations, and they opened their chapters in, pan-India, like in Andhra Pradesh, in Delhi, in Jharkhand, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, West Bengal, and they started chapters across India. They started taking their women for the training sessions, not only in India but abroad also, like Hong Kong, to see that what are the fashion trends and how innovative they can be, to take up the ideas, to meet different people, to adopt and embrace the international trends, etc. So overall, the success stories tell us that there is no limit for the women in spite of the struggle they face because of the stereotype roles and because of the patriarchal society across the globe. Still, women have come up. So in this part of the lecture also we will be talking about some successful women entrepreneurs who have attained the pinnacle and achieved the successful venture of their entrepreneurial ventures. So let me now talk about Vandana Luthra. Yes, the founder at VLCC. So just look at the statement what she makes. I am not VLCC. I am a part of the 6,000 professionals who run it. What a beautiful statement given by Vandana Luthra. This mission has actually taken her on the top. As far as her education is concerned, she did a polytechnic for women in New Delhi. Prior work experience was that she was just a homemaker, and the statement which she make that I am not a VLCC, I am a part of 6,000 professionals who run it. So Vandana Luthra is an inspirational women entrepreneur who is a founder of VLCC Healthcare Limited. She is an Indian businesswoman, philanthropist and a chairperson of Ability Council for Beauty and Wellness sector. In the year 1989, Vandana Luthra set up a company called VLCC as a wellness center. VLCC is a very popular giant of beauty and wellness and is present in 11 countries throughout Asia, Africa and GCC, that is the Gulf Cooperative Council. However, this success was not overnight. Vandana started her entrepreneurial journey that were hardly any women entrepreneur in India. She had to face a lot of criticism in the male-dominated environment, but she kept moving forward with the belief that her ideas was unique, unusual, and was introduced for the first time in India. In the year 2010, she won the Enterprise Asia Women Entrepreneur of the Year award. Vandana was honored by India's fourth highest civilian honor, Padma Shri Award, from the President of India in the year 2013. Vandana started her journey in the year 1989 when the first of her two daughters were only 3 years old, and today she is a grandmother of 3 kids and still lives her dream. Let us now talk about Aditi Gupta. Yes, the founder of Menstrupedia. Her education is that she is an engineer graduate and a new media design postgraduate. Prior work experience is menstruating women are impure. This taboo has nothing to do with where you are from the interiors of India to the big cities. If there was a myth I could do away with, it would be this. Yes, Aditi Gupta is a co-founder of Menstrupedia, a platform working together, breaking the taboo around the menstruation. This venture stemmed out from her personal experience with the so-called taboo of menstruation. For her, menstruation was often a painful time which she had to go throughout without any help to mitigate the pain. Later, she found out that the terrible menstrual cramps were the story of every girl next door. She decided to create a website on menstruation to educate the women. Aditi belonged to a conservative middle-class family, being familiar with the taboos from an early age. Yet, she was brave enough to break the chain of the silence on the periods. Her efforts were commendable and her journey even was more inspiring. Menstrupedia successfully challenged a lot of stereotypes, which did cost her several uncertainties and hesitations in the beginning. However, today the platform has become extremely popular among the girls and the women seeking to gain awareness about the menstruation and about the hygiene. The platform had reached more than 14 lakh users throughout online and offline efforts. Along with the books and the comics, Aditi also started an online store for selling the menstrual products and merchandise around the feminism, gender equality, and women empowerment. Aditi has not yet created a unique platform for providing the much needed knowledge about a woman's body, but she is also changing the way the menstruation is looked at by the people. Let us now talk about Falguni Nair, the founder of Nykaa. Her education is that she is an IM graduate. Prior work experience as a managing director at Kotak Mahindra Capital Company. What did she say? I wanted to stand for those women who want to be beautiful for themselves, not for men or for other women. Falguni Nair is a founder of Nykaa, the one-stop destination for cosmetics and other beauty range. She endeavored her journey at the age of 50. Yes, it is a time when people think about the retirement. She started her successful journey. It was after resigning that Falguni began to think about the various ideas and also how to shape everything in the form of an organization. Still, Nykaa was never really in her head until she observed the unbiased approach used among the retail and online beauty shop sales managers to select the best products. She saw how her friends in the States, they relied on Amazon shopping. She saw the lack of good beauty sales experience in India, and she combined the two to launch the Nykaa in the year 2012. Shortly, several well-renowned brands started listing themselves on the platform, and soon enough Nykaa's turnover crossed 200 crores, along with 850 brands and more than 50,000 products. Yes, look at her journey, which was started in the middle age of 50. In India, people are dying to get a basic job so they could become financially stable for the future. And then, in her 51st year, the picture of women quitting her job at a prestigious bank and choosing to start something of her own. Would you do the same? Falguni proved that it's never too late, and she has motivated the people to believe in their opportunities, and that can be created at any time, at any age. Let us now talk about another successful woman. Yes, we are talking about Sharda Sharma. Sharda Sharma is a founder and CEO of Your Story. Her education is from MICA. Prior experiences, she was in CNBC, TV 18 Times of India. What did she say? When you know you have to fend for yourself inch of the way, it gives you a different kind of a grit and tenacity. Sharda Sharma, the founder and CEO of Your Story, is a courageous entrepreneur who was bold enough to call it quits while working for a famous media house like CNBC in Mumbai. While working, she had the opportunity to interview several entrepreneurs and learn about their success stories. She wanted to feature these successful stories, but several channels rejected this idea. This is when she noticed that 1 million stories are storming around, but there is no platform to cover them. While working for CNBC, Sharda started a Your Story as a blog on one night. She was well exposed to the business practices of the news channels and the newspapers. So she applied, and same here. Soon the platform turned into India's biggest platform for the startups and the entrepreneur-related stories. Today the website has about 70,000 stories and serves the content over 11 local languages. Shraddha's motive is to share the roller coaster of the emotions an entrepreneur goes through. She was awarded by the L'Oréal Paris Femina Award and was included in the list of the world top 500 LinkedIn influencers. In the year 2019, she got up to interview Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. Sharda is one of the most successful and influential women entrepreneurs in India. Let us now talk about another successful story of Sheetal Ramkumar. Yes, the founder and CEO of White Globe Education. She was an alumni of Indian School of Business, that is ISB. The prior work experience, she was an advisor at Chalkboard Academy. Stay nimble, but don't let the scale of the change overwhelm you. Yes, we are talking about Sheetal Ramkumar, the founder and the CEO of White Globe. She is a ferocious and precocious entrepreneur who is a leading in the language service provider industry, that is LSPI, in India. Despite the APAC region being popular for its diverse culture and languages, the LSP industry was much unorganized, especially in India. Sheetal noticed this wide gap and thus created a professionally managed language service company that will help break the language barriers and support the business across the globe. Initially, she encountered several challenges in her journey as the LSPI in India was highly fragmented with no documented methods of assessing the competencies of the language experts. She had to invest a lot of time and effort to develop a multidimensional competency assessment for the language experts and facilitate their collaboration to offer high quality services based on competency mapping. Initially, she encountered several challenges in her journey as the LSPI in India was highly fragmented with no documented methods of assessing the competencies of the language experts. She had to invest a lot of money and effort to develop a multidimensional competencies assessment for the language experts and facilitate their collaboration to offer a high quality service based on the competency mapping. Today, the company is one of the leading LSP, but the journey towards the top was not easy. Sheetal has been ferocious with her decisions for the company and a big believer in taking a risk. So she was a risk taker. This is a big reason why White Globe is known for its higher than average risk appetite. Her leadership skills, exceptionally, are very often rewarded with many awards and accolades. Recently, she was awarded a Business APAC Most Influential Women of 2020. Let us now talk about another successful woman called Kiran Mazumdar Shah, Indian women entrepreneur who, as a chairperson and a managing director of Biocon India Group, led a pioneering enterprise that utilized India's homegrown scientific talent to make breakthroughs in the clinical research. Kiran attained her knowledge of bravery from Melbourne in the year 1975 and returned to India. However, she could not find a job in India as she was told that she could not be hired as a master brewer in India because it's time of the man's work. She was also aware of the cultural norms that often limited the social mobility of women. Thus, she started looking for a job opportunity outside India. After a brief period as a trainee manager at Biocon Biochemicals Limited of the Cork, Ireland, to learn more about the business, Kiran returned to India. She started a Biocon India in the year 1978 in the garage of her rented house in Bengaluru with a seed capital of only rupees 10,000. Although it was a joint venture, Indian laws restricted a foreign ownership to only 30% of the company, which meant that 70% of the company belonged to Kiran. Kiran spearheaded a Biocon evolution from an industrial enzyme manufacturing company to a fully integrated biopharmaceutical. In the year 2005, Kiran also received a Padma Shri award, one of its highest civilian awards, for her pioneering work in the industry biotechnology. Let us now talk about a wonderful woman, a successful women entrepreneur, who is the CEO and founder of Sheroes. There are words called heroes, but she named it as Sheroes. Sairee Chahel. Yes, this is what we are talking about. I was faced with the questions like, can you do it? Gladly, things are changing now. Can you see the things? Can you do the things? Stuff like this. Yes, we are talking about a woman who had the courage to start an entrepreneurial journey of, Sheroes. Sairee Chahel. Her education is from IMT Ghaziabad and Jawaharlal Nehru University. She was working with the Hedrick and the Struggle and CII. I was faced with the questions like, can you do it? Gladly, things are changing now. They can see me doing it. Sairee Chahel has established the platform called Sheroes with an idea to help the women get more from life, more from their careers, more from their jobs, to health, to family, to life, and to the well-being. Sairee belonged to a very small town with a very familiar with the limitations of the opportunities for the women. After moving out of her house, she pursued her education and worked side by side. Soon she was creating a job opportunities for the needy. The big gender gap in the Indian internet ecosystem, the lack of diversity in the workplace, the insignificant amount of women workforce did not go unnoticed by Sairee. She started a Sheroes as a career-centric community for women. The platform started gaining admiration in just 2 years. They had almost 1 women, 1 men and 20,000 companies signed up and would post 100,000 jobs listing in a month. As an upgrade, Sheroes then set up a helpline for the women to enable them to talk to professionally if they had any sort of career question. So what a successful journey. Now let us talk about Upasana Taku, a founder of MobiKwik. The education is from Stanford University. The prior work experience is by PayPal, ZackPay and 2020 Social, Kick Up a Storm or Die Trying. Upasana is the founder of MobiKwik, an easy replacement of a wallet. When you start something new, the ecosystem does not accept you easily. People say no to your work. Though the concept seems, relatable, it was fairly new for the market to accept it. However, Upasana was, calm enough to build her idea into a big venture. Her gender was one of the major obstacles that she faced. She observed that women in a position of managing finance was unsettling, and this is why she talks more about courage that a woman has to take when in the helm of affairs. Upasana battled her way up to the top, unceasingly. Upasana had the entrepreneur calling from within, but she also wanted it, by the other person's best interest too. She established a MobiKwik to help the unreserved individuals of India. MobiKwik was established as a simple recharge platform soon, and it found its way in every individual phone as an e-wallet. Upasana is a pure inspiration. She decided to quit the privileged life, ignored the big gender discrimination patiently, and confronted numerous challenges just to give back to her homeland. Now let us talk about another beautiful successful women, Sugandha Agrawal, the founder of Dr. Care. Education is she is an engineer with a corporate job experience. What does she say? As we delve deeper, IoT and wearable startups as well as the analytics startups will play a very key role in making a predictive healthcare a reality for India. With a crisis which we did not turn our healthcare query to digital. It took a pandemic for us to realize the importance of telehealth, but young businesswoman Sugandha Agrawal saw it a way ahead. She established a Dr. Care online healthcare service provider that provides information to its user about the best doctors, about the best clinics, hospitals, diagnostic centers. Dr. Care also offers the virtual walkthroughs of the hospitals and their facilities. Dr. Care has been successful to slowly gain a trust from the doctors and the patient alike. The company has enrolled in all the major hospitals like Apollo, Manipal, Medanta, and many more. Dr. Care is now getting around 300 plus appointments per day. 4,000 plus medical tests have been done through Dr. Care, 500 plus clinics, 100 plus hospitals, and 2,000 plus doctors are registered with the Dr. Care. Through Dr. Care, Sugandha is planning to bring many positive changes in the healthcare scenarios of India. Let us now talk about another good woman who has attained the success called Ankita Gaba, a founder of Social, Samosa. Education is MBA, founder at social media firm. I have a hunger to grow and learn each day. I believe in persevering against all odds. Ankita Gaba is a co-founder of Social Samosa and an, ace multitasker. Apart from being an entrepreneur as a profession, she is a social media strategist, a lecturer, and a consultant. Before this, the Ankita had been a part of the founder team of the Superphona, which was the India's first social media firm. Under her management, Superphona devised and conceptualized the various online media solutions and the strategies for the several popular brands like Mahindra, Idea Cellular, Pons, Colors, Zapak, and many other names have joined the list since then. Later, she founded a social, Samosa, an Indian social media knowledge storehouse, which tends to provide a hands-on experience and the professional services running in the various social media projects and the campaigns by the virtue. However, it was served on her plate. Just like that, she had her share to struggle and difficulties when she faced the bravely and overcome all of them and still choose to be the woman she is today. So, this enables the industry by leading thought and influencing the influencers. Its editorial team propels the industry with the insightful analysis and investigative research, empowering the decision making, training brands, agencies, and the tools on harnessing the power of social right through the life cycle of their products and the services, facilitating the custom-made social media workshops, seminar, and the events. So, we have seen the successful journey of many social entrepreneurs, many business entrepreneur women, and we should learn from their journey of what hardships they have faced, and eventually they have emerged and they have attained the sky high positions as a successful women entrepreneurs.